if what we call public opinion was just a manufactured narrative that makes it easier to convince people that if their views are different, then there's something wrong with that, or there's something wrong with them.
Spending is a tax. As soon as the government spends money, eventually it's a tax. Sometimes we put a direct tax on the people, sometimes we borrow the money, and sometimes we print the money.
Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth.
The Patrick Riggins Show. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
That means late time. Oh, and yeah, the Patrick Riggins Show. That too. Don't forget that. The intro song you're listening to is entitled I knew I'd screw this up. Diabolical Man. It's by Jason Hodge. He's a fan of the show, and his people contacted our people, and now it's worked into the rotation. So we've played it before on the show in case you think it sounds familiar. And I'm not sure if this is available anywhere on Amazon or anything. We'll check on that and see. All right, this is the Patrick Riggins Show, coming to you live on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network and locally on News Talk 98.7 WOKI. We are back again for another hour of way too much to get to and not enough time to get to it. But unfortunately, with only an hour a week, that's just how it works out. We do try to get some stuff on Facebook during the week, and we're working on the show website where we'll have even more stuff. So changes are coming. I think on the website, what's taking up time is the transcribing all the shows that we've had up until now, but we have a crack team working on it, or a team on crack, either way. As soon as it's ready to go, we'll let you know. This week, I want to start off the first segment of the show with an update on the whole NSA spying, which is still occurring with neither Congress nor the administration doing anything about it. The story first appeared it was first reported by the Washington Post this week, and we put it up on our Facebook page the day it broke. That address, in case you need it, is facebook.com/Patrick Riggins Show. You don't have to be a member of Facebook to get to that. Just put that address in, and the page will come up. The story states that the National Security Agency has broken privacy rules and overstepped its legal authority thousands of times each year since Congress granted the agency broad new powers in 2008, according to an internal audit and other top secret documents. Most of the infractions involve unauthorized surveillance of Americans or foreign intelligence targets in the United States, both of which are restricted by statute and executive order. They range from significant violations of law to typographical errors, yeah, right, that resulted in unintended interception of U.S. emails and telephone calls. You know, no matter what you want to call this, it's unconstitutional and thus illegal. But is anyone going to lose their job over this? No. Is anyone going to be charged with violating the rights of American citizens? Oh, no, of course not. If we do something wrong, we just promise to try and not do it again. That's how the government works. The documents, they were provided earlier this summer to the Washington Post by, guess who, former NSA contractor Edward Snowden, include a level of detail and analysis that is not routinely shared with Congress or the special court that oversees surveillance. In one of the documents, agency personnel are instructed to remove details and substitute more generic language in reports to the Justice Department and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. So, in other words, cover up the fact that detailed spying is going on. Actual instructions to cover this up. How is this program still going on? We tried to get this stopped in Congress, but as I covered a few weeks ago, an amendment was defeated that would have limited the spying. Let's see, I've got it right. Okay, yeah, I've got it right here. Here it is. It was an amendment to the Defense Department Appropriations Act of 2014. Now, the primary co-sponsors were Justin Amish. I can never get his name right. He's a Republican out of Michigan. John Conyers, he's a Democrat out of Michigan. Thomas Massey, he's a Republican out of Kentucky. Mike Mulvaney, he's a Republican out of South Carolina. And Jared Polis, which is a Democrat out of Colorado. Now, those voting against this amendment included Speaker Boehner, who, hey, he's a Republican. House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, also a Republican. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, a Democrat. House Minority Whip Steny Hoyer, and he's also a Democrat, of course. And along with him, a couple other people, notably two that stand out is Michelle Bachmann and Darrell Issa. So this was both parties and their leaders, both sides of the aisle, saying all of this spying is perfectly okay. Everything is just fine. You still don't believe there's really only one party in Washington? You know, they call each party the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. What it really is both of these are really the government party. Don't you think it might be time to kick all these establishment moderates out? Both sides, both parties. It's just one big government-controlled party. That's what they want. Getting back to the column here, in one instance, the NSA decided, it's just, reading this, you almost think this is a satire, but it's not. That's the sad thing. In one instance, the NSA decided that it need not report the unintended surveillance of Americans. In another case, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, which has authority over some NSA operations, did not learn about a new collection method until it had been in operation for many months. Consequently, the court ruled it unconstitutional. So they were already doing this for, many months, is what the story says, until it was ruled unconstitutional. The NSA audit obtained by the Washington Post is dated May 2012, counted 2,776 incidents in the preceding 12 months of unauthorized collection, storage, access to, or distribution of legally protected communications. 2,776 incidents. That's over 7.5 a day. And that's using a full 365-day year, not whatever the work week is for a typical NSA government worker. The May 2012 audit intended for the agency's top leaders counts only incidents at the NSA's Fort Meade headquarters and other facilities in the Washington area. 3 government officials, speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss classified matters, said the number would be substantially higher if it included other NSA operating units and regional collection centers. So it just gets more and more. James Clapper, the Director of National Intelligence, has acknowledged that the court found the NSA in breach of the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. But the Obama administration has fought a Freedom of Information lawsuit that seeks the opinion. So here it is, this agency, and it's made up of people. The agency is only a name, only a building. It's the people working in this agency doing these things. So we have human beings who violated the Fourth Amendment of citizens of the United States. Now, why aren't these people being brought up on charges? If you violate someone's rights, you can bet you'll be hauled into court to answer for it. But if you work for the NSA, you can do whatever you want and get away with it. I mean, right here it is in black and white. The Director of National Intelligence has acknowledged that the court found the NSA in breach of the Fourth Amendment, but the Obama administration has fought a Freedom of Information lawsuit that seeks the opinion. There it is. In other words, the Obama administration doesn't think it has to answer to anyone for violating the rights of American citizens. This just isn't just confined to him, though. George Bush acted the same way, and the media and the liberals howled and moaned about it constantly. But when President Obama is going even further, doing even more to violate the rights of Americans, no one's really saying a word about it. I mean, do you realize this is an impeachable offense? That the president who swears to uphold and defend the Constitution, his gang up there is actively violating our rights, spying on all of us. I mean, are you going to do something about it, or is your television show on? God knows we wouldn't want to interrupt your life to try and save the country. It's better to watch some reality TV in your nice suite on the Titanic. You know, if all that yelling and screaming out in the hall is distracting, just turn the volume up so you don't miss anything. Hey, wouldn't you know it, we're up on the first break here on the Patrick Riggins Show. We have a lot to get to this week, and we'll get started after this first break. Be with us here in, about a minute and a half. We'll be right back.